Welcome. We are the exclusive YouTube channel at Body Like Bruce. First, we'd like to put a shout out there to all those who over time watched our videos, our video uploads, and subscribed and stayed loyal to our channel. For you, helped our channel grow immensely. Without you, we would have been struggling. This also includes those who just viewed our videos and then went on their merry way. You are much appreciated, again, because you helped our channel grow immensely. Today we are bringing you a book we came across called The Story of Karate from Buddhism to Bruce Lee. Luana, Metil and Jace Townsend are the authors. The contents page. Further reading, glossary and index. It goes into the details of ancient martial arts and their origins, supposedly stemming from Bodhidharma in India. He used to watch warriors practicing their martial art moves. It fascinated him. Then it looks like he got into his religion, Buddhism, and it reached China. It was introduced to China and was a hit there. The Shaolin monks were excited to have Bodhidharma visit them because they felt he was a very special man. They had heard tales that he performed supernatural feats. Stories were told of Bodhidharma crossing a river by simply standing on a reed. But when Bodhidharma arrived at the temple, the head monk would not let him enter. He was afraid Bodhidharma's new religious ideas would disrupt his monastery, where the monks spent most of their time translating Indian scriptures into Chinese. So, legend states, Bodhidharma sat in a nearby cave, staring at the wall in deep meditation for 9 years. Bodhidharma was able to empty his mind and concentrate on the present moment so completely that he said he could even hear the ants on the cave wall screaming. His concentration was so total that he was not even aware of birds nesting on his shoulders. When the head monk saw that Bodhidharma's eyes had pierced a gaping hole in the cave wall, he invited Bodhidharma into the temple. As the monks and others began to understand and accept Bodhidharma's beliefs, their new religion, Chan Buddhism, also known as Zen Buddhism, was born. Bit of mythology behind there. Did it really happen, or did it not? Harnessing their life force. The exercises, like Zen philosophy, help the mind and body to work in harmony together as one. For a person's mind to concentrate to its fullest, that person's body must be at its best. Bodhidharma taught the monks a way to breathe for inner calmness that helped them to sit quietly for long periods of time. Yet during meditation, apparently they fell asleep. So he created these exercises. Give them energy, keep them awake. Okay, here's some more details. The monks named Bodhidharma exercises the 18 hands of the Lohan, meaning exercises for the ultimate or greatest holiness. They felt Bodhidharma had given them a great gift. One legend claims that on the day of Bodhidharma's death, a man met a monk who claimed he was Bodhidharma on his way back to India. The man noticed the monk was wearing only one sandal. He told Bodhidharma's followers the story. When they opened his coffin, they found it empty except for one sandal. Shaolin monks and Kung Fu. Several centuries after Bodhidharma's death, Shaolin monks were still practicing the 18 hands of the Lohan. These exercises were practiced for strength and general health, not for fighting. However, the monks needed to know how to defend themselves in their temple, which was in a remote area in the Songshan Mountains, far away from other people. Bandits were a threat to the monks when they travelled. The monks believed life was sacred and should be defended. They would never start a fight, but they would fight to save their lives and protect their temple. They created more exercises for self-defense and practices punching, kicking and blocking. They found that qi, breathing, which helped them feel calm inside also helped them to increase their striking power. What had given them energy to pray also gave them energy to fight. When they breathed deeply and exhaled forcefully, their muscles tensed and explosive strength went into each punch or kick. Lessons from nature. The monks felt it was important to live in harmony with nature. They respected all the animals around them. Long before Bodhidharma, a Chinese doctor named Hua Tou taught that imitating animal movements would improve general health. Much later, in the 13th century, two masters of Bodhidharma, 18 hands named Chue Yuan and Li Cheng, spent many years watching animals. They studied all kinds of animals, from insects to large wild cats. They learned animal stances and movements that they added to the exercises. Another monk, Bai Yu Feng, added more movements. Eventually, the 18 exercises grew to 170 techniques. The monks named several new exercise movements for the animals. They watched the tiny praying mantis patiently wait and conserve its energy until its opponent was close enough to be captured with one blow. So the monks practiced timing and speed until they could catch a buzzing fly with their chopsticks with one swipe through the air. Snakes rapidly strike sensitive areas on their prey. The monks learned to strike sensitive areas to immediately take down or disarm an opponent. To strike exactly the right spot required pinpoint accuracy. The monks practiced balancing on one leg, then the other, and the one-legged stance of the crane. Balance is important when making fast movement. By quickly somersaulting and jumping about from side to side and back and forth, a monkey confuses its opponent. The opponent is left twirling about while trying to follow the monkey. Several of the Shaolin exercises imitate the low and rapid movements of a monkey. A tiger uses its sharp claws and strong legs to strike with strength and speed. The monks practice the tiger claw strike with curved fingers aimed at the attacker's face and eyes. The monks practice jumping kicks used by deer. They also practice the strong and solid stance of a horse and its rider. In the horseback stance, the monk had his legs apart, knees bent, and was ready to hold his ground. Horse stance. In addition to the many animal movements the monks practiced, they also wanted to possess the power of the mythical dragons in the Chinese culture. Dragons were thought to have enormous strength. When someone fought with the spirit of a dragon, they were said to have its amazing power. The dragon breathed out fire, and the monks imitated that when using the energizing chi breathing Bodhidharma had taught, and so forth. And Shaolin monks fought for the emperor. Karate on Okinawa. 3 pirates with raised swords charged at the lone Okinawan fisherman. Just as the pirates get within range, the fisherman jumped up and somersaulted out of their way. For the next several minutes, he dodged them. Then 2 more fishermen came running to help. They knew the pirates would take their boats, maybe even their lives, if they did not defeat them. The 3-on-3 fight was more even now. A spinning kick knocked one sword to the ground. With a few more well-placed strikes, the fishermen had disarmed the pirates. Soon, however, a dozen more pirates appeared, all holding long, glistening knives. The fishermen were badly outnumbered. Fortunately for them, some neighbouring farmers came to their rescue with their homemade farming tools. While one farmer used a long stick to block and strike, another twirled his threshing tool around a pirate's knife and pulled it free. Punches and kicks flew with the speed of lightning. Together, the farmers and fishermen sent the pirates running back to their ship. For many centuries, pirates and outlaws tried to steal anything they could from fishermen, farmers and townspeople along the coast of Okinawa. Okinawa is now a part of Japan, but the island once was independent. Back then, most Okinawans were too poor to buy swords or knives, so they used their farming tools as weapons. The Okinawan fighting style called te, or te, which means hand, was used for self-defense. That's where karate comes from. So Okinawans also learned kung fu techniques from Chinese immigrants and Buddhist missionaries living on Okinawa. Wealthy landowners on Okinawa were the only ones who could afford swords and knives. They used them to fight each other over land. In 1478, a new king, Shoshin, ordered a ban on weapons to end the constant fighting. The soldiers gathered up all the weapons and locked them in a warehouse near his palace. Shoshin then made the land owners move their families into the city of Shuri near the palace so he could watch them. They were given jobs, and Shoshin's government and the country was much more peaceful. But life in Okinawa changed in 1609 when a well-armed Japanese military force invaded. The king had to quickly outfit an army to fight off the attack. However, the Okinawan forces were no match for the Japanese, who easily took over the tiny island. The Japanese again banned weapons, making it a criminal offence with severe punishment for an Okinawan to own any weapon. Weapons. Goes on about a bow, a kama, the sai, the tonfa. One's body as a weapon. Karate moves out in the open. By the beginning of the 20th century, karate was more openly practiced on Okinawa, but the more dangerous and deadly karate techniques were often kept secret. Sometimes a master would share these secrets with one most trusted student. Karate masters wanted to be sure that the powerful fighting skills of karate would not be used for evil purposes. The Okinawan masters felt strongly that karate should never be used in anger. They taught that karate should be used very carefully, even when defending one's life. An old Okinawa proverb states that karate and anger don't mix. When your hand goes out, withdraw your anger. When your anger goes out, withdraw your hand. Karate used only for self-defense. Karate for self-defense only. Number 1. Rule: karate used for self-defense only. Rule number 2. First learn rule number 1. Remember that? Mr. Miyagi, Karate Kid. Korean karate, taekwondo, and its origins. Spinning kicks, high kicks, etc., etc. Japan's ninjas. Up against the samurai. In the early days of ninjas, a ninja was loyal to one samurai clan. Ninjas risked their lives for their samurai whenever needed. They lived in wild and remote mountain areas surrounded by forests. 2 areas of Japan where most of the ninja families lived were named Iga and Koga. Strangers did not get past the guards around these ninja villages. And here's some facts on ninja training and the history of that. Shokasugi, supposedly a black belt in karate, not actually a ninja, according to a lot of people. He's just claiming to be. This looks like Stephen K. Hayes. But he does have those skills, weaponry skills, etc. He claims he was trained by a mysterious neighbour called Tokugawa or something like that. Stephen K. Hayes. Born in karate, Gichin Funakoshi. Born in the city of Shiryu on the island of Okinawa in 1868. He was born prematurely and was not exposed to live long. Expected to live long. A small and weak child, Funakoshi described himself as very shy with no confidence in himself. Fortunately for him, a school classmate was the son of a karate master, Yasune Azato. Master Azato agreed to teach Funakoshi karate in his backyard. Karate still was forbidden by the government, so practices were held secretly at night. There, in Master Azato's backyard, Funakoshi practiced karate movements every night, over and over. Just before daybreak, he would sneak home carrying his lantern. His study of karate not only improved his health tremendously, but also his personality. Funakoshi believed karate changed him into a strong, energetic, and confident person. Since Okinawa was ruled by Japan, Funakoshi's life was affected by the changes happening in Japan, Japanese government. The new government wanted all men to cut off their top knot hairdo, which was the symbol of a samurai. Funakoshi's family did not want to break his tradition and encouraged him to keep his top knot. To please his family, he left his hair in the old style. However, the government would not let him enter medical school with a top knot, even though he had passed the entrance exams. Eventually, he cut off his top knot in order to get a job as a school teacher. Teaching left him some free time, and he spent it all practicing karate. And then karate becomes illegal, and then his reputation grows. When Funakoshi was 53 years old, he performed a karate demonstration for Japan's Prince Hirohito. The prince was so impressed that he invited Funakoshi to demonstrate the little-known Okinawan art of karate at an athletic exhibition in Japan. While there for the event in 1922, Funakoshi met Jigoro Kano, the founder of judo. Kano asked Funakoshi to stay in Tokyo and teach him some basic karate moves. Funakoshi felt honoured by the request and remained in Japan to teach him. Soon, someone else who had seen his demonstration, came to Funakoshi to ask for instruction. Funakoshi realized that if he wanted to introduce karate to the people of Japan, he had to stay in Tokyo. Judo's gentle giant Jigoro Kano. Information on him and judo. Aikido, way of harmony. Morihei Uyeshiba, probably the founder of that, creator of that. And American Karate pioneers, Junri, Grandmaster Junri of Taekwondo. Ed Parker, he taught karate to movie stars, possibly Elvis Presley, and others. Hollywood's karate legends. In 1958, a young man from Hong Kong came to the United States to attend school. While a student at the University of Washington in Seattle, he taught his own martial arts style, Chi Kung Do, which means way of intercepting fist or foot. His name was Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee began learning Chinese karate or kung fu when he was 11 years old. There were many street gangs in Hong Kong and he was involved in many fights. Shortly after he arrived in Seattle, word got out about his kung fu expertise. He was glad to give up his job as a dishwasher in a restaurant to teach his own kung fu classes. Until this time, the secrets of kung fu fighting had been taught only to Chinese and other Asian people. Lee took any student who showed an interest. He converted his garage into a gym with many training devices, some that he had designed himself. His favourites were a wooden dummy or mukjung and a heavy punching bag. Fighting with a partner or sparring was his favourite training method because he believed it was the best test of fighting skill. He was hard-working and creative, always changing and improving his techniques in his own unique style. Lee demonstrated Chi Kung Do at a karate tournament. After he performed at the 1964 International Karate Tournament in Long Beach, he became well known in the martial arts community. But Lee really wanted to make movies using his martial arts skills. He wanted to show the world the beauty of Chinese art, the martial arts, etc., the culture. The performing arts were not new to him. He had been a child actor in Hong Kong when he was 6 years old, and his father was a comedic actor with a Hong Kong opera company. In 1966, Lee got his first acting job in the American television series The Green Hornet. He played a newspaper man's faithful friend and bodyguard who used martial arts to stop villains. The series lasted only one season, but Lee's character was popular with the audience. It was very popular in Hong Kong. It was then known as the Kato Show, not the Green Hornet. Kung Fu in Hollywood. While Lee was trying to get a part in a movie, he taught martial arts to several Hollywood actors and screenwriters like Sharon Tate and other celebrities like Dean Martin, James Garner, Steve McQueen, James Coburn, etc. He also did some work as a film fight coordinator, designing and arranging the movie fight scenes. During the filming of a movie, two large stunt performers were bragging about how easily they could beat the 5'8", 145-pound Lee in the fight, so he challenged them. Lee had them both brace themselves in any stance they chose, a few feet from a swimming pool, while each held an inflated bag in front of them for protection from Lee's kick. They did not believe that Lee could land them in the pool with one stationary kick, without any wind-up or running jump for added power. Lee gave one kick and the first huge stuntman was airborne above the pool. The second kick sent the other man sailing so far that he nearly flew over the pool. Neither man ever questioned Lee's ability again. Lee's movements were so quick that his strike was often felt before it was seen. He enjoyed using his exceptional reflexes to play harmless tricks, he was a prankster, on people. One of his tricks was to remove a dime from the palm of another's hand before that person could close his or her fist. Lee would rest his hand several inches above the dime in the other person's open palm. He moved and the other's palm snapped shut. The person usually would think he or she had beaten Lee, but when that person opened his or her hand, there was a nickel in it instead of a dime. Lee's great speed and high-flying kicks earned him the nickname the Man with Three Legs. Another nickname was Little Dragon because he fought with such fierceness. Those who knew Lee agree that he always pushed himself beyond his limit. The high expectations he set for himself drove him to work constantly. Everything he did became a physical exercise. He kept a punching board with him in his car so he could use it to strengthen his hands. There he is as Kato in the television series The Green Hornet. Bruce Lee brought martial arts moves into millions of homes. Whenever he was caught in traffic or stopped at a red light, he'd probably punch it or exercise with it. He even designed an electrical machine that he connected to his chest muscles so they could be exercised while he wrote notes on movie scripts. Bruce Lee never wasted time. So he was the creator of that stimulator, right? Muscle stimulator, etc. By the sounds of it. Lee regularly attended the big karate tournaments in California, and at the 1967 International Karate Tournament, he met Chuck Norris. Norris had just won the title of Grand Champion by winning 13 fights in 11 hours. When the two met, Norris was simply looking forward to a good night's sleep, but the two men started talking about martial arts, and before they knew it, they had stayed up all night talking and sharing techniques. Lee got tired of waiting for a movie part from Hollywood, so in 1971 he made his first film, The Big Boss, in Thailand. Lee wrote, directed and starred in the 1973 movie Return of the Dragon. Or was that The Way of the Dragon? Return of the Dragon in the US. This movie ends with a fight scene between Lee and Norris at the Roman Colosseum. Yeah, The Way of the Dragon. Soon after that, Lee made his first Hollywood movie, Enter the Dragon. Lee plays a good guy battling a drug lord's martial arts army. Hollywood promoted the movie worldwide, and Lee became an international martial arts actor. Many martial artists believe it has the best fight scenes of any movie, for sure. In The Chinese Connection, Lee plays a martial artist, or fist of fury, avenging the death of his teacher. Lee was filming Game of Death when he died suddenly on July 20, 1973 at age 32. The movie was completed with stunt doubles and released in 1979. Yeah, cardboard cutouts, another stupidity, right? And they just used his footage of scenes with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Dan Innocento, and so forth. Bruce Lee's son, Brandon, also made martial arts movies. This picture is from his 1992 movie, Rapid Fire. He was killed March 31, 1993 in an accident while filming The Crow, which was most unfortunate. 15 years later, Bruce Lee was awarded a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Well, he deserved it, didn't he? His death has remained a mystery of great interest to many fans. The official cause of death is listed as cerebral edema, swelling of the brain, most likely caused by a reaction between aspirin he took for a headache and painkillers he took for a back injury. However, there continue to be rumours of murder and evil spirits. He was killed by Dim Mak, ninjas got him, the mob got him, all this sort of stuff. The triads. Okay. Apparently, or what we've read is that this was like a cover-up. This is what we feel. It was a cover-up because in his system he had a lot of hashish or cannabis. Right? So the life insurance company, he had 3 policies with them. They wouldn't pay out. So his wife was widowed. Linda Lee, having 2 children, needed to survive, needed to feed them. Right? She's not an actress or anything like that. So she had limited money. So apparently her publicist friend suggested that there's thousands of fans of Bruce Lee out there, diehard fans, so all that memorabilia, play on that, get money from that, put the stories out there, and then of course Shannon became in charge of the Bruce Lee estate, okay, etc, etc, so that's how they survived. Much like Elvis Presley, when he supposedly died, Priscilla Presley and the daughter basically promoted his memorabilia, kept his image alive through the many adoring fans, all that sort of stuff, and that's how they made money. So this publicist suggested what to do with Linda Lee, right? Another guy, I forgot what the book is, Matthew Polly, maybe found that notes in Bruce Lee's personal items. He was in debt. He owed money for this and he owed money for that sort of thing. Yeah, so apparently the Hong Kong mortician, the doctor, examiner, etc., said that he died of, in his guts he had a lot of cannabis or hashish, right? So this life insurance policy company wouldn't pay out because he apparently used weed because of that mortician's verdict. So an American went there and persuaded this Hong Kong mortician to change the story, and so Linda Lee could get those life insurance policies, right? The money from that. This is just what we've read. Whether it's true or not, one would have to do their own personal research on it. It's like Elvis Presley supposedly dying and sitting on a toilet with his pants around his leg, his legs, right? They'd cover it up and say, for the sake of Elvis's dignity, right? Fans don't want to know, he died on the toilet having a crap, right? So they say, he was in the shower and he went to take some medication and he got confused because he dropped the pills or whatever. So instead of taking 3 pills a day or whatever, let's say 3 pills 10 times a day or something like that, he takes 10 pills. It gets all confused and all that sort of stuff, right? Because he drops both pills, both bottles or whatever, right? And he can't read the prescription or something like that, so he ODs. But apparently he was up at 2 a.m. in the morning in the bathroom, and then that's when he had a heart attack and collapsed. There's many different versions how he actually died, and then you got the conspiracy theory versions that he didn't actually die, all this sort of stuff, right? Same as Bruce Lee and all that, right? And so forth. Okay, so his death has remained a mystery of great interest to many fans. The official cause of death is listed as cerebral edema, swelling of the brain, most likely caused by a reaction between aspirin he took for a headache and painkillers he took for a back injury. However, there continues to be rumours of murder and evil spirits. The rumours of murder stem from the anger Lee caused in the Chinese martial arts community for being the first to teach its fighting secrets to non-Asians, particularly after they had told him to stop. Lee's defiance of tradition made him enemies. There never has been any proof, however, of murder. Others feel his sudden death was a result of evil demons. The accidental death of Lee's only son, Brandon, at age 28, caused some to wonder if the demon had won against their family again. Brandon was following in his father's footsteps to become a motion picture star when he was accidentally shot in a fatal stunt accident on a movie set. Bruce Lee's life continues to interest people. Hollywood produced a movie about him in 1993 called Dragon. Is that the one with Jason Scotland? Which was pretty good. Dragon, the life, the Bruce Lee story. Then if that's the case, then how come Shannon wasn't killed? Okay, because she acted in a few movies, TV series, and so forth. And you have his friend, Bruce Lee's friend, Chuck Norris, who was a champion in his own right. World champion. Steven Seagal, who a good action movie star, started to go silly and was saying a whole lot of crap like he trained Bruce Lee, all this sort of stuff, right? Jean-Claude Van Damme, who was mistaken for being part of a bank robbery, was deluded, right? He was famous, actor, in demand, all that sort of stuff. So suddenly nobody wanted to know him. Karate Today. Here's some more on Bruce Lee. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the 7'2" former Los Angeles Lakers basketball player, began studying Aikido one summer when he was home from college. When he returned to the University of California at Los Angeles that fall, he met Bruce Lee and learned Jeet Kune Do. He even appeared in a fight scene with Bruce Lee in the movie Game of Death. The great difference in height and the length of Abdul-Jabbar's limbs made sparring an extra challenge for Lee. And interesting to watch on the screen, Abdul-Jabbar has said that he believes training in the martial arts is helpful conditioning for any sport. He has encouraged his own children to study karate. In 1989 he started an annual tournament, Kareem's Kids Karate Tournament, that raises money for needy children. The tournament draws hundreds of young competitors and martial arts celebrities. At least 10 million people in the United States today practice some form of martial arts. So this Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, he might be the last of the students of Bruce Lee. Most have passed away, if not all. There's Chuck Norris and his movies. Further reading. And it has here the biography of legendary Bruce Lee, O'Hara Publications, 1986. It's a collection of articles compiled by Jack Vaughan and Mike Lee. It describes the fanatical character of Lee as a martial artist and the other aspects of his life as an actor and family man. Other articles about Bruce and Brandon Lee are published by Black Belt Magazine, Rainbow Publications, and Martial Arts Legends Magazine, CFW Enterprises. Bruce Lee the Legend, Paragon Films, 1984, is an entertaining and informative documentary about his life. Yeah, some of those Bruce Lee movies you get, about his life and all that sort of stuff, the real Bruce Lee, and Bruce Lee fights back from the grave, they're total crap, right? They're total junk, but entertaining. David Bradley, who's in American Ninja 3. Okay, enjoyed the Michael Dudikoff in the first ones. Then he got a bit silly. Jean-Claude Van Damme demonstrates his kickboxing prowess in numerous movies. He actually was a karate man, black belt in his karate, not actually Thai boxer. Yeah, he may have dabbled in it, not really sure. And here's the index. Of all the different information and people, practitioners within this book. We hope that you enjoyed this particular video. If you did, please let us know in the comments underneath the video, and we'll look at those and get back to you on them as soon as possible. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give us a like, and then go tell all your family friends about us, our Body Like Bruce, and our great videos. Thank you for taking the time to watch.